Alright. Not bad. Sure, it don't sound right convincing. I guess I'm fair to middling. I know it's fair to middling, same, don't you? Fair and middling, both same. I guess. Still talking to this end. You know, some folks say that's a sign of losing your marbles. Well, there's the thing. You know, like, a bit daft. Well, speaking of a bit daft, I must have been a bit daft to buy these Pro 400 Roclites. Now, before you start ranting and raving, the rest says no, Inov8, no. When I did that video, I was actually out on trail doing a couple of days, fast packing. And when they brought it out, I was having a rest break, and I just saw it release. For the fearless, for the brave, this, that and other, Gore-Tex. And I did my video and I ranted and raved saying, no, we don't want a Gore-Tex boat. Not as fast packers. Some do. If you're fast packing, you don't really want Gore-Tex, but that's for that video and maybe another one after. So why am I daft buying these? Well, like a lot of folk, I was a bit fed up coming up to Crimbo. Christmas sales, got suckered in. Price seemed a bit more realistic. Instead of £200, I think I give 150 odd at sports shows with my discount. Been that busy at work, didn't have much chance to wear them. First impressions, I was like, you know what, there's a bit about it here. I can see where 200 quid probably comes in because it's Chihuahua fabric. So I went out, local, did a few mile, 5 or 6, very comfy, didn't rain, impressed. Went out, did another walk, about 5 miles, up a moorland trail, didn't wet again, I was impressed. Didn't get much chance to get out again then for a while. Then I went out the other day, round Langset, on the moors up there. Come back, still pretty happy with them, but we were covered in mud and all sorts. So when I got back, I just put hosepipe on while I was still wearing them. And I noticed some irregularities on heels. So both heels on inside the heel started to fail. You see there? I don't know if I can show you that in best light, but it's a classic failure. It's coming away from sole, and it's as if when you're pressing on it, this edge at sole, I don't know if you can make that out, but it's as if it's too proud and there's not enough foam or supportive foam inside to stop that pressure. And what that's done then is expose that part of heel, and it's obviously scuffed on rocks and heather and all sorts. But that's shocking, that's less than 25 mile. I wonder if I can get some better light on that for you. Hold on, just pause it a second. Right, back it roll. See, I'll show you it better. How can I do this? I'm not a YouTuber, am I? Anyway, you see it there? And on that one, same and all. It's going there, look. See it? Hello? Inov8, what's going off? So yeah, not right inspiring. You know, can you imagine if you paid £200 for these? So yeah, these are going back. They're going back to sports shows, and they're going to assess them after I'd already sent some photos. So I might get them back yet. They might say, well, it's fair wear and tear. But you can see, you still see bobbles on tread. I've done noting them. But they're a very comfy boat. But something else that's irritating, and I've seen on a few reviews, you know, posted reviews, this top eyelet. So if you lace hook, but every time you're lacing them up just about, it catches behind. You see there? And if you were to being dark, or first dawn, and you're trying to get your boots on to get off all your fast packing, and you're going to pull them on like that, there's a good chance you'll pull that eyelet and damage it. So that's a bit of a design fault. So yeah, that's them. But while I've got you, and we're talking about Inov8 and bolts and fast packing and such like, so I bought them. I also bought them at sale. What's them? Rocfly G390. Now they're far from minimalist, not my usual type of boat or law trainer. But I'll tell you what, there's no membrane in them to fail. I've had them wet and they're very good. One thing I will give Inov8 is their soles don't seem to soak up much water, so the stones start squelching out, and if they're breathable. I would initially thought with these that this rand here would stop, you know, stop them draining as you're walking, but they actually do seem to drain very well. Soles on them, I think they were based on call them trail fly or something like that. Well, I had them trainers, sold them, couldn't get on with grip on them. But these soles based loosely same pattern, but they're actually deeper lugs, and these will get you onto trail through them initial muddy sections and that, especially if you're moving quick. They clear quite well, and they're pretty grippy. But there's a downside to them. Coming out at the door, I've got concrete flags, I've got bricks that's laid down, Yorkshire stone, coarse and curbs. They're lethal. I mean, they're deadly. You're like Bambi on ice. Very slippy on them surfaces. And I said to my mate who's got some, I says, I'm hoping that once I've put a few miles on them and this sole starts wading in a bit, they'll get that grip in them sort of places. But other than that, they're a nice boat. They inspire confidence to bang some miles out in them. But I just haven't had time. I've put about 20 miles on these, maybe 30. But initially, quite impressed with them. Obviously the G390, which means size 11.5, they weigh about 460 or something like that. They're about 80 grams out. Similar with 400s in an 11.5. Again, they're about 75, 80 grams over that. But Shawala fabric, that bit winner for me. But while we're still on about Inov8 boats, let's talk about these and all. One's off. A pair I had past. The G370. I had them a couple of years ago when they first came out. Touted as breathable, water resistant. Now, I was led to believe with advertising spiel at wedding that they were water resistant due to ballistic fabric knit. So, at a push, they should dry out and you shouldn't get over sweaty feet when it's pretty warm. Inov8 says, the world's first ever fast hike boot to feature a graphene enhanced sole. Well, they disintegrated after 30 mile in lakes. They literally, soles just came apart. I don't mean sole from foam, I mean the entire unit from the upper. It's left me in a bit of a predicament. I actually got in touch with Sports Shoes while I were on ill wearing them and explained what crack was, and I had to get home, so there might be an even worse nick by the time I got home. But what was interesting was I could actually see a membrane in lining between, you know, outer, upper and inner. You could actually see the one membrane. So a bit of kidology there. That one right nice. And you wouldn't know, but like I say, I was misfortunate enough to see it firsthand because of that much extensive damage. So yeah, they're disintegrated after 30 mile. Roclite 355s. I've got an old pair I picked up second hand. Oh, they must be still in boat box. Took them into lakes. I'd already done about, I don't know, maybe 10 mile local in them. Just walking around getting a feel for them, they were alright. Then I went up moors up towards Watson Dodd, trying to catch up with John Kelly on his Wainwright's record attempt last year. 6 mile. My feet were absolutely soaked. They were a Gore-Tex boot. Why I bought them, I don't know. But total failure. And that was just on wet tussocks, going up and some standing water bits. But no, I'm no mug. I didn't go over ankle in any place. It was just a failure. Another Inov8 boot failure. Now I know loads of Roclite fans out there, or whatever, them G345s and all that, very popular with folk. They're not usually fast packers, so they can mind where they're putting their feet. They're not trying to, you know, get as many miles in as they can. And as fast packers, we don't tend to be looking to avoid wet patches so much. We just want to get to where we're going. And that'll bring me around to lastly, Inov8 again. Why don't you make these anymore? Or I've done something with this upper and design. These are old X-Talon, I think they were like the 240s. I've had them years. They're absolutely brilliant. I got them second hand, and these, since I got them, they've been Norway, Italy, Emsel, Barnsley, Lakes, you name it, they've been everywhere with me. And as you can see, I've even screwed studs in them. They're my favourite winter boot. I'll put a pair of sealskins on or whatever if it's deep snow and it's cold, because there's very little material. But these again, they breathe really well, they get wet and they get dry quick. I'd wear them nearly all year round. So, but there's no cushioning at all. But again, I can do minimal. You know, there's not many Inov8 boots you can do that with no more, is there? So it's, well, they're a great boot, and that upper, it's just built to last. That's like some sort of nylon. So yeah, they were my favourites. So Inov8, yeah. I would like to say I owe you an apology on my first video. As a boot, as long as I'm not just super unlucky, I have heard of others that's had failings with membrane and one thing or else. Grip on these are lovely. They're nearly on par with a Vibram sole. Nearly. I don't know what's different. Whether there's a slight touch of difference in rubber. They feel a bit more sticky and a bit more supple that treads on these. But that sole unit, it's a great sole unit. It works well in peat, mud, wet grass, stone, rock, loose. It'd be great. And yeah, I can experience that in 5 or 6 miles going upside the Lancet. So yeah, 400 Pro, very disappointed. Hopefully Sport Shoes will send me a replacement and we'll see how they go, and I'll update you then. But I'm gutted because they are so comfy. That Shoella fabric on its same without having a Gore-Tex membrane is very water resistant. I love Shoella fabrics, and that's probably where bulk up money's come from, because Shoella's not cheap. Right, I'm waffling on, folks, so I'm not going to quite apologise yet. Inov8 as a hiking boat, a fast hiking boat, yeah, but for the fearless, for the adventurous, for this, that and other, they won how many awards in no time at all before they were even released fully on the UK market. And I've had my eye on them, I've kept them in corner. Effort time and a lot of sizes, they're rarely available. So I wonder how many boots of these have actually been made and sold in the UK. You'll tell me. So that's it for now, folks. We'll see what Sport Shoes say. These are going back and for inspection. And if they send me on back, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. I'll sure go home and I'll try to wear them to death. Whatever that membrane remains intact inside. But yeah, G400 Pro. So far, still a thumbs down, but I might have just been lucky. We'll see. If you've had a pair of G400s and you've had any sort of failure, let me know, comment it video. We'll not get into whys and what fuss for Gore-Tex and no Gore-Tex on this one. But yeah, let us know. Right, hope you're all well, folks. Keep it salty. See you there.